Yes, we are back at the grass, touching the grass. Touch some grass, guys, it will make you feel better about your life, probably. Much better than getting spammed to death by a fucking Lvl. Alright, with that being said, let's go over the topic of today's discussion. So first of all, welcome back to everybody. The topic of today is going to be mainly around the big question that surrounds the community, the PvP Elden Ring community, which is the Meta Lvl. So let's go over the Meta Lvl discussion right away. Alright, so Meta Lvl, people are... There is two main loud voices, right? We have Scott Young, who's praising a 120, 125 level, and we have Fighting Cowboy, which is praising for 150 and maybe plus meta. Here is the thing, there is no real debate here. 120, 125 is plenty. Whatever you want to do. The main argument of Cowboy is that, oh, if you want to use that spell and that thing, you need to have more faith. Okay, fair enough. You have more faith, you need to sacrifice something. You cannot have a build that's one-shotting people or, you know, taking 80% of their health with a stupid spell, and then also want high vigor and also want to wield certain weapons. Like, no, get the fuck out of here. If you want to have a build, you need to sacrifice something. If you're a physical build, you should be sacrificing something. You should be sacrificing being able to cast spell and such and such. So I don't understand where is the debate, if there is any debate. 125 is more than enough. Now, I really don't think there is more to say. Look at Scott Young video with the different talisman, with one stat gone from Dark Souls 3. So the meta in Dark Souls 3 was 125. That was like the main place where people stopped. But we had one more stat, we had Vitality. Vitality is gone, so you have less stat to invest in, but people want to go higher. It's like, that's fucking stupid in my opinion. That's just plain and simple. I don't really see why going higher. And also from the other real good people at PvP, which are G9 and other tryhard, 125 is fine. 120, 125 is more than enough. Okay, so let's close the topic on that subject. I don't really see what's the point here. If you have any suggestion, if maybe I'm missing a point, leave your comment in the comment section below. That'll be very much appreciated. So why people want to go higher than 150? It's because things hit too hard, and that's really the main problem of this game. Is that going to get patched? Maybe not. I think the idea is that the higher level you go, the higher upgrade you go, the more like a god you should feel. I think that's what From Software is going for, which is why everybody's getting two-shot by a spell or by weapons in general. If you look at Skip to My Nash review on dueling, early dueling review, is like two-shotting people, one-shotting people, not one-shotting, but it's like killing people so quick with the Frost build and with how much damage he does with his power stancing with curved swords on the Dex build. It's stupid. It's not fun. In my opinion, it's just like, who's gonna spam, who's gonna one-shot the other first? I don't like it. Personally, I really dislike this way of playing. That's in Dark Souls 3, you were not getting one-shotted by things. It was very, very rare, or things were not like getting 80% of your health. I think this gives a very shallow experience as a fighting game. It's like if you take any fighting game and people die in 1 or 2 hits. It's like, whoa, that was fun. That was an engaging experience, right? Like in Super Smash Bros, if everybody starts at 200% and it's the first one to smash the other one that wins. It's like, no, we want a drawn-up fight. We want to see back and forth experience. It's like if you see a chess play and everyone, and there is like only one king and everyone has queen. Like, you know, something to that extent. I'm not, as you can tell from this stupid suggestion, I'm not very well known in the ways of chess, but that's my point, right? It's like if we're, and that was a problem with Mike Tyson. If you guys are familiar with Mike Tyson's career, he was one-shotting people, he was knocking them down on the first round, and it happened so often then there was not much money or not much interest from the crowd, because everybody knew he would win. Everybody knew he would win in one round, and that was like very bad for business as a whole, because it was making the sport almost boring, and it was making bets almost pointless, because you knew he was going to win, and you knew he was going to win in first round. So what we like when we are watching a sports competition, when we are watching a duel, it's like seeing how the guy is able to come back after losing so many times, and the meta doesn't allow that. I think the meta, if you want my real honest opinion, I think the meta should be around like 90. I think 90 you can still make builds. I think 90 people don't make too much damage. But that's another topic. No one will follow me because I'm not a big voice. And but if we have to choose something, let's go with 120. All right, let's not talk about the meta bullshit anymore. A little bit of a more update on my review. I was complaining a lot about Magic, and I am still also complaining a lot about Magic, but I do believe that what I need to do right now to improve as a player is to spend much more time at lower level. So the goal here is not to get twinked out and invade at level 10, right? There is not fun, there is nothing to gain here. But I made a level 50 Samurai Dex build, and I'm in love with it. I'm in love with all the tools that you can use, and one of the tools that is very essential for us invaders is going to be the Bloodhound step. I know Bloodhound step are a big complaint in the dual community. People say it's busted. I do believe it's busted. I think you have too much iframe, too much invincible frame. So basically the Bloodhound step is the Ash of War that allows you to do a quick step, but it's a quick step on steroids. So you travel very far, you're invisible as you're traveling, and you are also having tons of invincible frame that you can even attack people as you're still invincible. It's a bit dumb, but the goal why it's so good, it's not so much because it's a great tool for being invincible. I mean, it is. It's not an offensive tool, it's a defensive tool. And as an invader, you very often get caught into a blender. You're gonna get caught off by surprise by some spells. But if you're able to Bloodhound step out of your engagement or out of the danger zone, then it allows for a much more fulfilling invasion. You have a lot more chance to win because you will not get caught into a blender, and if you get caught into a blender, you can just spam Bloodhound step to get out of it. You can also dodge spell, you can travel from one choke point to the other, right? When you're invading, basically you play around with the PvE. So let's say you're at an area, there's a couple of mobs, 3 people are rushing this area, they're killing the mobs, there is no mob around, 3 people are rushing you. What do? Do you stay into the fight? No, you don't. You get out of it. You go to the next checkpoint, but maybe the next choke point where there will be more enemies is a bit more further down the road, right? But how do you travel there safely without Bloodhound step? Well, the answer is that you don't, and that's why I got super salty before, because I was trying to get to the other area, the safe area, but I would get spammed to death by different spells, mostly Moonveil and other shit. So yeah, Bloodhound step. Lifesaver, a tool that makes invasion a lot more fun. Really, I'm in love. Second one is that there's actually a bunch of Ash of War that you can use without speccing into Magic, Intelligence, or Faith, and still do range damage. I'm thinking about Thunderbolt. Like, Thunderbolt is super good at killing people that are far. You know, mages spamming you with magic, just spam them back again with Thunderbolt. It has tons of range, it has tons of tracking, it comes out really quick. They don't expect it, it does tons of damage. And that's also coming to another point, is that there might be a bit of a balance to be made here with the Ash of War, because without speccing into Faith or Intelligent or Arcane, you can still do tons of damage with Ashes of War that are lightning based or frost based, you know. So there is like a lot of tools that we can use as invader to do damage from range without relying on magic. Bows are good. Like, of course, they're not like the main thing as good as the tracking meteor that follows you for 100 meters, but bows can definitely hang. You can do some damage with the bows. You can use Radahn's bow, Lion Great Bow, Ash of War, and, you know, block a zone. If you see your enemies are dealing with the mob or they're stuck somewhere, you just pepper them with the Ash of War, the rain arrow I think it's called, and then yeah, you're just blocking a zone. And this is like really strong. Like, bows can definitely hang. They're a tool that we can use. If you're a physical build, invest into a bow. Go get the Ash of War Enhanced Shot, which has like higher damage, faster traveling speed, and a lot of tracking added to your arrows. It's just good. Honestly, it's just good. Another discovery I made was the actually it's very, very strong. It's the lance ring plus double spear. Oof, that do a lot of damage. That does a lot of damage. So my point here is not to tell you all the discoveries I'm making, is just to say, like, yes, the game is still new. There's still a lot of tools that we're gonna have to find, and I am finding some, and I'm in love with it, and I believe that some of them will be a staple. I think Bloodhound step is gonna be a must-have for invaders. What I'm scared also is that for now, as I'm invading low levels, like level 50s, I'm not facing very good players. I have to be honest with you. Even though I'm beating a 3v1, a 2v1, etc. I did a 5v1 last time. Those guys don't really know what they're doing, right? Some of them do know how to play, but most of them, they're just beginners, right? What scares me a little bit is when the gankers, when the population is gonna dial down and you're going to face good players that are ganking, so they are 3v1ing you, but they're also using Thunderbolt, they're also using the Frost Storm, they're also using the Bloodhound step. You know what's gonna happen? That might be a bit of a trouble, in my opinion, if I do say so myself. And on one last note, I had tons of fun dueling with Skip to My Nash. I made a video talking about that. You guys should definitely check Skip to My Nash channel. He finally uploads some video. He's one of the best players that ever played the game, I would say. So check him out. And yeah, those were my little my little discussion on the Meta Lvl, on my latest PvP discoveries, and I'm sure I will find a lot more stuff to play with. I'll be making a video also showcasing this 50 build I'm talking to you guys about in more detail with the stat and everything. Alright, with that being said, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe and comment, and I do answer every comment. Every day I take about 1 hour of my time to answer to everyone who do take time to watch the video and leave a comment. I really appreciate many of you. Also Ryan and Conniption and Mohamed, and who else, like everyone who stops by the stream. Thank you guys so much. Diego also, Daiglo, thank you guys for stopping by and, you know, helping the channel out. Like that means a lot to me. Thank you so much. So yeah, I see you, my fellow tarnished, very soon in the lens between. Bye bye.